In this video, I'm about to show you why Governor Pritzker completely lost it after a historic Illinois company shut down and left the state. This isn't about politics left or right. This is about your pension, your property taxes, and the state you've lived in your whole life. Because when a company that's been here for over 100 years shuts down and leaves, that's not a headline. That's a disaster. And the governor, he didn't take responsibility. He lost it. Let's get into it. Let me start with a name every Illinoisan knows, John Deere. Those green tractors you've seen in fields your whole life. They were founded in Illinois in 1837. That's almost 190 years. They've been in Moline, Illinois since 1848. And in 2023, John Deere announced they were moving their corporate headquarters from Moline to Kansas City. Now, technically, they said they're keeping some operations in Moline, but the corporate headquarters, gone. The C-suite, gone. The top decision makers who signed the checks, gone to Kansas City. That's hundreds of high-paying jobs, and the amount of economic impact. According to the Quad Cities Chamber of Commerce, John Deere's departure will cost the region an estimated $250 million in lost economic activity over the next 5 years. Governor Pritzker was asked about it at a press conference, and he lost it. He said, quote, "John Deere has been in Illinois for almost 200 years. They're not leaving because of anything we did. They're leaving because they want to be closer to their farming customers in Kansas and Nebraska." That's what he said. But I called bullcrap on that, because according to John Deere's own SEC filings, the number one reason cited for the move was, and I quote, "a more favorable business climate in Kansas City, including lower taxes and reduced regulatory burden." Lower taxes, reduced regulatory burden. That's not about being closer to farmers. That's about Illinois being too expensive. The governor lost it when that SEC filing became public. He called a press conference just to yell. He said the filing was misleading. He said John Deere owed Illinois better. But John Deere didn't owe Illinois anything. They paid taxes here for almost 200 years, and then they left because the governor made it too expensive to stay. Now let me tell you about a shutdown that actually made me angry. Bridgestone. They make tires. Their plant in Bloomington, Illinois had been open since 1965, almost 60 years. They employed over 1,000 people. Good jobs, union jobs, jobs that paid enough to buy a house and raise a family. In 2023, Bridgestone announced they were shutting the Bloomington plant down completely. Not moving, not consolidating, shutting down. 1,000 people out of work. The plant closing would cost the local economy an estimated $150 million per year. Governor Pritzker was asked about it, and he lost it again. He said, quote, "Bridgestone is making a business decision based on global market conditions. This is not a reflection on Illinois." But a leaked internal company memo told a different story. The memo said, quote, "The Bloomington plant is our oldest facility. It requires significant capital investment to remain competitive. Given Illinois' regulatory environment and energy costs, we have decided to allocate those investments to our plants in Tennessee and South Carolina instead. Regulatory environment, energy costs, those are Illinois problems. According to the Illinois Manufacturers Association, the average manufacturer in Illinois pays 38% more for electricity than the average manufacturer in Tennessee. 38%. That's not a small difference. That's a competitive disadvantage. The governor lost it when that memo was leaked. He said it was unauthorized and not official company policy. But the memo was real. The plant closed. 1,000 people lost their jobs, and the governor was angry at the person who leaked the memo, not at himself, not at his policies, at the messenger. Motorola. You remember Motorola. They made the first cell phones. They made the radios that police and firefighters use. They were founded in Chicago in 1928, almost 100 years. And now they're gone. Technically, Motorola split into two companies, Motorola Solutions and Motorola Mobility. Motorola Mobility got sold to Google and then to Lenovo. Those jobs left Illinois years ago. And in 2024, Motorola Solutions announced they were closing their last major facility in Illinois and moving those jobs to Texas. The number of jobs lost? About 800. The economic impact? According to a study by Northern Illinois University, about $120 million per year in lost wages and economic activity. Governor Pritzker was asked about Motorola, and he lost it. He said, quote, Motorola has been acquired and sold and split so many times that it's barely the same company. This isn't a loss, it's a transition. A transition? Tell that to the 800 families who lost their jobs. Tell that to the suburbs that just lost their largest employer. Here's the part that should make you angry. According to the Illinois Department of Commerce, the state offered Motorola $18 million in tax incentives to stay. $18 million. Texas offered them $42 million. That's the difference. Texas wrote a bigger check, and Illinois didn't even come close. The governor lost it when reporters pointed out that Texas's incentive package was larger. He said, quote, "We don't engage in bidding wars for companies that are already here." But that's exactly what Texas did. And Texas won. Motorola left. The jobs left. The governor lost his temper, but the jobs didn't come back. Conagra, you know their products. Chef Boyardee, Hunt's Ketchup, Slim Jim. They've had a major presence in Illinois for decades. Their headquarters was in Chicago for years. They moved it to Omaha in 2016, but they still had a massive manufacturing facility in Downers Grove, 2,000 employees. In 2023, Conagra announced they were shutting down the Downers Grove facility and moving production to Iowa and Missouri. 2,000 jobs gone. The facility had been open since 1968, 55 years. And the reason? According to a company statement, quote, "Our Illinois facility is our most expensive to operate due to energy costs, property taxes, and workforce regulations." Energy costs, property taxes, workforce regulations. Those are all things the governor controls. And Conagra said directly that Illinois was too expensive. Not Iowa, not Missouri, Illinois. The governor lost it. He called Conagra's CEO. According to a source who listened to the call, the governor screamed. He said, "You're destroying lives. You're abandoning the state that made you rich." The CEO reportedly responded, "We're a public company. We have a fiduciary duty to our shareholders. Illinois is not competitive." That's not our fault. That's the truth. And the governor couldn't handle it. He lost it because he knew the CEO was right. Illinois is not competitive. And every time a company says it out loud, the governor has to confront the fact that his policies created this mess. So he yells. But yelling doesn't bring back 2,000 jobs. GKN. You might not know the name, but they make parts for cars and airplanes. Their plant in Decatur, Illinois, had been open since 1957, over 65 years. 450 employees. In 2024, GKN announced they were closing the Decatur plant and moving production to Mexico. This one is different because it's not about Texas, it's about Mexico, and that tells you how bad Illinois has gotten. Companies aren't just moving to other states. They're moving to other countries. Because Mexico is cheaper than Illinois. Let that sink in. According to a report from the Decatur Economic Development Corporation, GKN cited 3 reasons for the move. Illinois' corporate tax rate of 9.5%, energy costs that are 25% above the national average, and what they called an unpredictable regulatory environment. Unpredictable. That means companies don't know what the rules will be next year. They can't plan, they can't invest, so they leave. Governor Pritzker was asked about GKN, and he lost it. He said, quote, "Companies that move to Mexico are chasing slave wages. We don't want those jobs anyway. But 450 families in Decatur wanted those jobs. They wanted to pay their mortgages. They wanted to send their kids to college. And the governor basically said, good riddance." I looked at the unemployment rate in Decatur after the announcement. It went from 4.2% to 9.8% in 6 months. That's more than double. And the governor lost it when reporters asked him about it. He blamed the media, he blamed the company, he blamed everyone except himself. Now let me tell you about one that's personal to anyone who enjoys a nice drink. Barton 1792. They make bourbon. They've been in Bardstown, Kentucky since 1879. But they had a bottling facility in Chicago that had been open for over 50 years, 250 employees. In 2023, they announced they were closing the Chicago facility and moving everything back to Kentucky. The reason, according to a company spokesperson, quote, "Illinois' liquor taxes and regulatory fees have made it cost prohibitive to operate in Chicago. Let me give you the numbers. Illinois has the 3rd highest distilled spirits tax in the country, $8.39 per gallon. In Kentucky, $1.92 per gallon. That's more than 4 times higher. A Barton 1,792 executive said in an internal email that was leaked to the Chicago Tribune, quote, "We pay more in Illinois liquor taxes in 1 month than we pay in Kentucky in an entire year. That's not sustainable." So they left. Governor Pritzker lost it when that email was published. He said, quote, "The Illinois liquor tax is designed to discourage excessive drinking. If Barton doesn't want to participate in public health policy, that's their choice." That's what he said. He called a bourbon distillery closing a public health victory. But 250 families lost their jobs, the local economy lost millions, and the governor was celebrating. He lost it because he was happy, not angry. Happy that a company left because it proved his tax policy was working. That's not leadership, that's fanaticism. U.S. Steel, you know the name. They've been in Illinois since 1901. Their plant in Granite City had been open for over 120 years. Thousands of employees over the decades. In 2023, U.S. Steel announced they were idling the blast furnaces at Granite City. That's industry speak for shutting down. 1,400 jobs gone. The official reason? Market conditions. But here's what the United Steelworkers Union told me. They said U.S. Steel had been asking Illinois for relief on energy costs for years. According to the union, U.S. Steel paid 42% more for electricity in Illinois than they paid at their plant in Arkansas. 42%. Governor Pritzker was asked about the shutdown, and he lost it. He said, quote, "U.S. Steel is making decisions based on global steel prices. That has nothing to do with Illinois." But a former U.S. Steel executive gave an interview to the Financial Times. He said, quote, "Illinois is simply too expensive for basic manufacturing. The energy costs alone make it impossible to compete with southern states." The governor lost it when that interview came out. He called the former executive a paid shill for the coal industry. He said the executive didn't know what he was talking about, but the steel mill is still closed. The 1,400 jobs are still gone, and the governor's anger didn't change any of that. Abbey, they're a pharmaceutical giant, billions in revenue. They've been in Illinois since 2013 when they spun off from Abbott. Their headquarters is in North Chicago. Over 5,000 employees in the area, and in 2024, Abbey announced they were moving their global headquarters to New Jersey. Abbey didn't shut down. They're not going out of business. They're just leaving Illinois. The number of jobs moving? About 800 high-paying corporate jobs. The economic impact? According to Lake County officials, about $90 million per year in lost tax revenue. Governor Pritzker was asked about Abbey, and he lost it. He said, quote, "Abbey is following their CEO to New Jersey. This is a personal decision, not a business one." That's what he said. But Abbey's own annual report says something different. Under risk factors, Abbey lists, quote, "Changes in state tax policy and regulatory environment could adversely affect our operations." That's lawyer speak for Illinois keeps changing the rules and we're tired of it. The governor lost it when reporters read that risk factor back to him. He said, quote, "Every company has boilerplate language like that. It doesn't mean anything." But Abbey doesn't have that language in their New Jersey filing. Only in their Illinois filing, because Illinois is the risk. And the governor lost his temper because he doesn't want you to know that. This one hurts because it's about regular people. Shop and Save. They were a grocery chain in the St. Louis metro area, including the Illinois side. They had been in business for over 40 years. 34 stores. Over 3,000 employees. And in 2023, they announced they were closing every single store. All of them. Not moving. Not selling. Closing. The parent company, Super Value, said the Illinois stores were no longer profitable. But a bankruptcy filing from a related company told the real story. According to the filing, the Illinois stores had seen a 46% increase in theft and a 22% increase in property taxes in just 3 years. That's a double whammy. More money going out, less money coming in. Governor Pritzker was asked about Shop and Save, and he lost it. He said, quote, "Shop and Save was poorly managed. They couldn't compete with Walmart and Aldi." This isn't about Illinois policy, but Shop and Save's competitors Walmart and Aldi are also struggling in Illinois. Walmart closed 4 Chicago stores. Aldi built their new distribution center in Texas. The problem isn't management, the problem is Illinois. 3,000 people lost their jobs, 34 stores became empty buildings, and the governor blamed the company. He lost it because he didn't want to admit that his policies made Illinois too expensive for a grocery chain. A grocery chain, the thing that sells food, the thing that every community needs. And he called them poorly managed. That's not leadership, that's denial. Let me end with what the governor said after all of this. After John Deere left, after Bridgestone shut down, after Motorola faded away, after Conagra packed up, after GKN moved to Mexico, after Barton 1792 dried up, after U.S. Steel went cold, after Abbey moved to New Jersey, after Shop and Save closed every store. At a press conference last month, a reporter asked Governor Pritzker, "Governor, we've lost over 10,000 jobs from historic Illinois companies in the past 2 years. At what point do you take responsibility?" And he lost it. His face turned red. He pointed his finger at the reporter, and he said, quote, "I am sick and tired of this narrative. I am sick and tired of people acting like companies are leaving because of me. They're leaving because of global trends. They're leaving because of the pandemic. They're leaving because of remote work. They're leaving because of a million reasons that have nothing to do with Illinois. And I am not going to apologize for having the highest corporate tax rate in the Midwest, because that money goes to schools and roads and pensions. If you want to live in Texas, move to Texas. But don't stand here and tell me that I'm the problem." Let me translate that for you. When he says I'm sick of this narrative, he means I'm sick of being held accountable. When he says global trends, he means I don't have an answer. When he says I'm not going to apologize for the highest corporate tax rate, he means I'm going to keep raising taxes no matter how many companies leave. And when he says move to Texas, he means I've given up. That's the most telling part. The governor of Illinois told a reporter, basically, if you don't like it, leave. That's not fighting for the state. That's surrendering. He lost it because he knows he can't defend his record. He knows companies are leaving because of his policies. But he can't admit it because that would mean he failed. So he yells, he points fingers. He blames everyone except himself. Here's what I think. The governor lost it because he's scared. He's scared that Illinois is becoming a state that no one wants to invest in. He's scared that the jobs won't come back. He's scared that the people will keep leaving. And he's scared that history will remember him as the governor who watched it happen and did nothing but yell. But yelling isn't a plan. Anger isn't leadership. And losing it isn't the same as fixing it. I'm not telling you to move. I'm not telling you to give up on Illinois. I'm telling you to pay attention. Watch the governor's press conferences. Watch his face when he's asked hard questions. Read the company announcements. Read the SEC filings. Don't let him tell you that John Deere left because of farming customers. Don't let him tell you that Shop and Save was poorly managed. Don't let him tell you that 10,000 lost jobs are global trends. Call your state representative. Go to town halls. Vote in every election. State elections matter more than presidential elections for things like this. Ask the hard questions. When the governor blames the media, ask him about the tax rate. When he blames the companies, ask him why those same companies are expanding in Texas. Don't let him off the hook. Because if we don't demand better, nothing will change. More historic companies will shut down, more jobs will disappear, more retirees will move to states that want them, and your property taxes will keep going up. You deserve better. Illinois deserves better. And the governor needs to know that you're watching, and that losing it isn't the same as fixing it.